What's up, guys? The message that I'm feeling called to bring forth today, and what I would like to share with you, is the topic of how we can use our understanding of energetic frequency and our own vibration to shift into the experience we wish to experience. So the best analogy that I often come back to with regards to this is just like a radio tunes into a particular frequency in order to tune into a station, a broadcast. In the same way, you are tuning into the experience that you experience through this shift in your frequency. So that's such a powerful thing to understand, because the moment we start to strive towards manifesting our desires through this shift in frequency, rather than just focusing on what's happening on the superficial, is a moment in which we rise towards our power as conscious creators. So that understanding in itself is huge. And now I want to kind of get into how can we use this? How do we actually put this to practice? So in understanding this, that it's your frequency that dictates the reality that you experience, what becomes the practice and the approach that I recommend is focus on this shift in experience happening internally. Okay, so the best way to put this is that you desire the things you desire, not because of what's happening on the surface. If you really dig into each desire that you have and you really reflect on why you want that thing in the first place, you'll find that what it is that you really want is the feeling that you associate with having whatever it is you desire. It's that you feel like having or fulfilling that desire will make you feel good. Now, whether that's true or not is an entirely different conversation, but what I think is important to understand right now is that it's the feeling, the emotion that we desire more truly than what may be happening on the surface. And so one of the key things to understand in this manifestation process is that if it's the feeling that you desire, the most effective, the quickest, and the approach that makes the most amount of sense is to try to bring that feeling into the now, rather than push that feeling off into the future, as many of us do, because we think we must have a certain reality before we experience that feeling. See, how often do we do that? We say, I will feel this way when this happens. I will feel happy when I make this amount of money. I will be happy when my vacation comes around. This is often happening on a more subconscious level too. We so tightly attach our emotions and how we feel to our physical experience that we live in this world in which what's happening on the surface is going to determine how we feel. Now, if what you want is to feel good, it's important that we detach those feelings from those surface level physical desires and first start with cultivating that feeling we want to feel. Because not only is that going to allow you to experience what it is you want more quickly, again, being that what you want to really experience is to feel good. I think that's at the root of all our desires. The other thing that plays into is if you shift yourself into those feelings, into those higher frequency feelings, because that's what this is. If you're feeling better, if you're feeling grateful, when you're feeling abundant, when you are feeling connected and you're excited. These are all indicators that you're shifting your frequency closer into alignment with the frequency of the experience that you desire. So it's this super important flip of the script, where rather than living in the world of when I have this, when I get here, I'm going to feel good, it's I'm going to start with feeling good. I'm going to start with cultivating the emotional state that I want to experience. I'm going to start with shifting my internal frequency. And then what will happen is your external reality will begin to reflect that. Again, your frequency tunes you into the experience that you're having. So one of the best connections and most relatable connections that I see this playing into is we all want to experience abundance on some level. I think we all want to experience abundance now. I don't want to get into this, but I think a lot of people are also self-sabotaging themselves from experiencing abundance because of inner conflict and just being out of alignment. Again, another video. That's another video. But I'm sure on a more conscious level, we can all say, yeah, abundance would be nice. I want to feel abundant. I want to experience abundance in whatever way that means to you, in whatever way, with whatever that means to you. And so if we wish to experience abundance, I think the gateway to that experience, what I've come to realize is the doorway to that experience of abundance is gratitude. In feeling grateful, which goes hand in hand with feeling abundant, you begin to shift yourself to this frequency of abundance. And what unfolds from there is, in feeling abundant, you will experience abundance. Trust me when I say it, guys, that this is the place we need to begin. This is the way in which we approach creating the reality that we desire. It's gotta start within. It always starts within. In truth, it's all internal. This entire experience is an internal one. And the more that we embody that through recognizing that it's well within our control to shift what's happening in our internal state right now, it's not about what's going to happen down the road. It's not about what we want down the road. It's about bringing the experience that we desire into the now. And that starts with you and the frequency that you're operating at. I think that's all I got for this video today. If you have any questions about this topic and you want a little bit more practical advice for how we go about doing this, I mean, there's a couple things that I have posted a video in the past. I believe it's called A Powerful Law of Attraction Technique or Manifestation Technique. I'll put the link to that video down in the description. But that's a nice little actual specific strategy and practice that I've shared that can help with this, with manifesting your desires. And it also just occurred to me, one other thing that I think you guys might be interested in, to all my conscious creators out there. A little while back, I put together a list of 33 Law of Attraction resources. So that's from books to teachers, websites, essentially all the things that I feel like are the best resources to learn how to apply the Law of Attraction and get it working for you. So it's a pretty powerful list there. If you want to go check that out, I will put the link to that in the description below, and you can go ahead and download that. But again, Ascenders, that is it for this video. I do want to thank you for watching, and until the next time, keep ascending.